There are always going to be people that are psychotically obsessed. Please understand, there are always going to be people that are psychotically obsessed with combing through every single thing that I do to try and make it look like it's a bad thing, even when there's nothing that's going on. Okay? All right, let's get back to America Israelifying at an alarming rate. Illinois aims to stop Trump from sending National Guard troops to Chicago.
Now to the latest on President Trump's effort to send National Guard troops to tackle crime in Democratic cities. Demonstrators in Chicago accuse federal agents of using excessive force, something the Trump administration denies. The state of Illinois, meanwhile...
Is this what you wanted us on? The majority of American Jews are now fiercely anti-Semitic. I hope you're proud. Yes, I am. Dude, what is happening? You should check the Candace stuff, man. Dude, what's going on? What's happening? Are you guys okay? What? I don't give a about Candace Owens, man. This chat has been so abysmal today. I don't know what's going on. What is happening, dude? Like, look at this. That's Mohammed Hussam Doan. I know you said you don't want to see Candace, but please, you have to see this. She's talking about Charlie spoke to her in a dream. Dude, I don't give a man. I don't care. Take a week off.
Now suing to prevent the deployment of those troops. Usher Qureshi reports now for us from outside a federal immigration facility near Chicago.
Donald Trump is using our service members as political props and as pawns in his illegal effort to militarize our nation's cities.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker Monday laid out his case against President Trump's attempts to send National Guard troops into Chicago, as state prosecutors sued to prevent that, accusing the Trump administration of manufacturing a crisis in the nation's third most populous city.
The only situations that are out of control are certain ICE and Customs Border Patrol officers who are engaged in shocking overreach.
It follows weeks of sweeping immigration raids in parts of Chicago, leading to at times intense protests, mainly outside of the ICE processing facility in the suburb of Broadview. In recent days, the Trump administration has called for the activation of 300 Illinois-based soldiers and potentially hundreds more from the Texas Guard to protect federal law enforcement and property in and around Chicago.
We go in, we will solve Chicago within 1 week. Baby.
But the president has for months suggested he would consider deploying National Guard members to the city. Citing violent crime rates, local officials say they've been reducing successfully without federal intervention.
It's like a war zone.
To do it, Trump said Monday he might invoke the Insurrection Act, a 19th century law that in some cases allows the president to activate troops to combat acts of rebellion.
If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that.
Now, the Illinois federal judge overseeing this case is expected to hear oral arguments on Thursday.
Oh, my
we should
God.
note that new CBS...
Is there like a LSF video or something? Is that why there's like hella people coming in here and screeching? Is that what's going on? Classic. It started on D, then H3, then LSF is the classic pipeline. I'm gonna die, dude. Yes, I am incredibly abusive to the not only best trained, but also the best behaving and most spoiled dog on the planet. Is from when Kaya yelped. Yeah, she yelped because she clipped herself on something when she was getting off the bed. What are people talking about?
News polling shows the majority of Americans oppose President Trump deploying the National Guard to U.S. cities. Gail?
I sure got it. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can we talk about...
I was wrong. The new LSF post is made by Ignig Nacht, DGAF. Same guy that was caught in here a month ago crying at you. Mega decline Epstein Stan. Of course, he's also Crazy Mole Man, the prolific stalker of yours. Oh, there it is. Anyway, there are 4 posts within 20 minutes, bro. Lol. Of course, dude. There is a rabid amount of actual professional haters in here that literally sit around and they just sit in the community and just wait for anything that they can like clip out of context to claim. H3 is getting a lot of for using a prong training collar on our new dog. They're looking for any instance of you being abusive because of course all anti-H3 rhetoric is your fault. Okay. Back to the news, please.
For a second, are you planning to invoke the Insurrection Act? And that would be, a very long-standing law that's been on the books.
Yeah, well, it's been invoked before, as you know. If you look at Chicago, Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. And if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. It's all very simple. They probably had 50 in Chicago over the last 5, 6, 7 months. Many people were shot. And then the governor gets up and he says, well, we can handle it. They can't handle it. They don't know. He's grossly incompetent. He's at a 4% approval rating in Chicago. He's at a 4%, lowest approval rating, lower than even de Blasio had, which is...
I saw on YouTube that you protesting in France is the same as you doing a public event in America. I don't even know how to respond to those people. Guys, I need you to understand something, okay? There are always going to be people that are psychotically obsessed. Please understand, there are always going to be people that are psychotically obsessed with combing through every single thing that I do to try and make it look like it's a bad thing, even when there's nothing that's going on. Okay? It is what it is. People also said Hasan doesn't want to go to TwitchCon, but he went to Paris to a massive event, as though headlining an event like TwitchCon in the United States of America is the same as going to a country where there are serious gun laws. Okay? A country where there is an unlimited amount of mass shootings that take place is not the same as going to Paris. Okay? People just make shit up all the time. If you want to correct them, you can, but you don't have to bring it in here every single day. There are always going to be people. There are always going to be people that have made it their life's mission. That's it. I mean, these people straight up think that I'm single-handedly responsible. Piece of shit animal abuser. What the fuck is going on? Iran can't retaliate. Who's okay, there it is. This is what I mean. Look, stock market shush. Who's this watching? I came for chair reacts. Iran can't retaliate. They're basically completely destroyed already. Just people who are professionally wrong who come in here with regular frequency. Anytime they want to manufacture some kind of drama. Okay? It don't matter.
Hard to believe in New York. I thought de Blasio would always maintain that record, but the Chicago guy is even lower. So I think that we want safe cities. If you look at D.C., you would right now, Mark, you could go out, take your family out to dinner, you could walk right down the middle of the street. There is no crime in D.C. When I got here, this place was a raging hellhole where people would come from Canada, people would come from other places and end up getting shot. Nobody's being shot. The National Guard's been unbelievable. I mean, they are strong, tough guys. You know, we won something at the Supreme Court, which is a big deal, merit. Everything now in this country is merit-based. I didn't think I'd ever see it again. And we have our soldiers are merit-based too, and they're central casting. And they walk through that town, and I'll tell you what, this place is safe. It's beautiful. Now we're in Memphis, and the same thing's happening. You're getting the reports. The bad guys are saying, we don't want anything to do with this. And we're removing many people. In D.C., we took out 1,700 career criminals and sent them back to the countries from which they came, mostly led out by Biden and his people that had an open border policy.
We begin this hour with the latest on the Trump administration's growing push to send troops into U.S. cities. The state of Illinois and the city of Chicago filed a lawsuit yesterday to stop the president from deploying hundreds of National Guard troops there. And in Oregon, a federal judge blocked a similar deployment to Portland. The president is now threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act to go around the courts. Adam Yamaguchi is in Portland. Adam, good morning. So what are you seeing there?
Good morning. While the president has called Portland a war-ravaged city, protests have been relatively peaceful during the day and confined to an area about 133. It is a city of 133 square miles. It's all been confined to this one city block. Last night we spoke to protesters on both sides of this issue, and they agreed that the demonstrations remain relatively calm despite more people showing up later into the evening. During the day, there's been only a dozen or so protesters here blocking the driveway of this ICE facility, and at night that number grows to around 100. Last night we asked protesters why they're here and if they're concerned their presence could fuel Trump's argument that the National Guard is needed.
If the National Guard's here and you push all this stuff out, they actually get arrested for the things they do and get actually prosecuted.
Obviously, it's illegal what he's trying to do. A judge has already ruled twice on a temporary restraining order. I wouldn't be surprised if you tried to send in troops.
Now, the Portland Police Department released a statement saying that since the protests began in June, they've arrested 37 people. Nate?
Adam, you were in Portland in 2023 covering the effects of the drug decriminalization.
How likely are the possibility of general strikes against this, and would they have an impact? They would if anyone was willing to participate in it, but it's just not going to happen. Okay.
How did he feel now compared to then?
Yeah, you know, I walked those the same streets that we walked during that coverage from 2 years ago, and I have to say that things certainly Portland still has its rough spots, but things feel much safer. They feel much cleaner. And I talked to my producer about this, and she lives here, and she agreed with that assessment. Nate.
All right, Adam. Thank you.